No, I'll be muting.
It's recording already, so it's perfect, John.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go on mute.
Cool.
Emily, can you send the forum email right now? While
I'll let someone else do it. I have to get back to my meeting.
No, you do your thing, John. Thank you so much.
All right.
Emily, can you do the forum, please? And apologize from all of us.
Okay, I do forum now. Okay, Dawn, you can go ahead to briefly repeat
now that we're recording, I'll just recap that now that I'm getting good at this. Yeah, so I think the issue that Emily raised this morning, my time, was that the new MicroProfile metrics 2.2 release incremented the package info version from 2.1 to 2.2. And the issue with that is that since we were actually going back from a 2.1 API, which was slightly changed from 2.0, back to the API that we had in 2.0, we actually should have, I guess, decremented the package info back to 2.0, because anybody who's familiar with 2.0 can continue to use our code without any change. So to be correct with the package info version, it should be 2.0. So I guess the question that we're now trying to address is, given that 2.2 has just been pushed up into Maven Central and everywhere, how should we proceed? Should that be a 2.2.1, a micro release, or should it be a 2.3, just a whole new release? And I think Emily was making the point that we should perhaps consider 2.3, because that way it gets picked up by the umbrella release, the 3.2 umbrella release. So Emily, did I capture that properly?
Yes. Since luckily MicroProfile umbrella release has not done as yet, so I think we have time to fix it. So this is so this is kind of, we can fix it cleanly. The other thing is I'm also, it's a kind of, if we keep on releasing MicroProfile metrics, I mean, I feel like this is quite unfortunate. I will say it's quite not very nice feeling. It's not very nice feeling to keep on releasing it and just fixing kind of problems. I
certainly don't disagree with that. I think we just,
yeah,
we're re-releasing on just the necessity of the API to try and keep the semantic versioning of the the numbering scheme true to exactly what's going on. But I realize that's visible outside.
Yeah, maybe we just leave it. Is even though it's not very nice and clean, is however, we just send a kind of false alarm. However, is kind of, is not horrible, too horrible. I think I can live with it. I don't know what other people think.
It's certainly better this way than the opposite way, right? If we had made a breaking change and we didn't declare it, that's horrible enough that we just did what we did, which was spin a new release. If in our case, if we say that we have a backward incompatibility or imply that from the change in the version number, but we actually don't, that's probably a lesser evil. Obviously, we'll do everything we can to never do that again, but I think that's where we're at.
I have a question about this. So we did this knowing, maybe I'm a little bit confused. We did this knowing that it might be not a good process, and we are trying to figure out how to fix it after the fact. Is that correct?
I think we did this out of perhaps a bit of ignorance around the semantic versioning and the package info.
Mm-hmm. Emily,
and so Emily, being well informed on how that works, has properly raised that to our attention. So now we're trying to fix it.
Oh, okay. And then what are the different options that we have? Emily, you have something prepared, like a slides that you can show right now?
Yeah, I have a couple of slides.
Sure.
Let me send the email. Post. Click the post button.
All right. And I just tweeted, so I'm like, you know, I didn't apologize via Twitter. We need to apologize via the forum, but I did own the tweet saying it was posted by me, so I am owning it a little bit here. Don, and I do understand.
I mean,
understand what you mean.
Okay, I clicked the button post. Okay, now let me share my screen. Share. Cool. Let me. I have a couple.
We can see it. We can see it. That's great.
Let me get to the right slide. Okay, semantic versioning. I mean. Okay, so it's basically we use the semantic versioning. There's three portions. One is the major, one is the minor, one is the macro patch. So major means if you only increase the major if you have backward incompatible changes, and then you will increase the minor if you have backward compatible changes. And macro and patch basically bug fixed, and you change fix spelling mistake and etc. It's a kind of very small thing. Macro, M-A-C-R-O, macro, got a typo there. So it's all the kind of, when we first release the specifications, like a MicroProfile config, all the packages in the API module version 100 in the package info.java. So basically, it's each package will have a package-info.java. So it's however, when you release when we release config 1.1, it doesn't mean all the packages need to change to be 1.1. We do not change if it's the package. Let me see. The package version should not be updated if there are no changes between the releases. So the package version just to demonstrate what's changing in the package. Basically, it's if it's no change, you don't need to change the version. If the other are change, like if you increase minor version, so that means this is a backward compatible change. If you increase major version, so there's a backward incompatible change. And yeah, and so on. However, in working out what kind of change, major change, what kind of change, backward compatible change is quite difficult. Is a kind of actually is in the JDK chapter 13 directly, it has over 100 pages to document what kind of change, backward compatible change. I knew this is because a few years ago I wrote kind of versioning tool directly used in our own Liberty runtime. So directly spot out what kind of change, backward incompatible change. So the rules are really complicated. If we just directly use our own knowledge and etc. We are going to make a mistake. So that's why we have a BND plugin. Basically, it's I integrated a BND plugin for quite a few specifications, even though not all of them. So, however, unfortunately, metrics, by mistake, disabled the semantic versioning plugin. So that's why it's the backward incompatible changes slipped through. So it's basically in this call. So I want to bring everybody's attention. So we need to properly honor this semantic versioning plugin. So I kind of recommend, and also is kind of we should force every spec to seriously look at this. If like this tool saying report, actually you have made the backward incompatible change. If you are doing a minor release, you should stop and revert your change and don't do that change at all. So this is pretty much what I want to cover. So it's let me quickly show the code a little bit. This yeah. So in the POM XML, so basically it's what is very important is we have a BND plugin, and also the kind of this portion is very important. So basically, it's we use the baseline Maven plugin, and also this version we kind of use as a baseline. Basically, every time when we release a spec, after release, we need to change the baseline to be a latest released version. In that case, in our master branch, we can always kind of compare with the latest release. For example, when we release 2.2, we will change here 2.2 for the metrics. And if we delete a method or change the method name and etc., so that change will be a backward incompatible change that we spot compare against 2.0. We spot that change, and then we will not be able to make the backward incompatible change by mistake. So this is yes.
Just a quick question there. So does that then compare what's in the package info as well for you? Does it warn you about those mistakes, or is that something that you have to watch for the output of this in the build to know whether to manually check that yourself?
Oh yeah, it's a very good question. Yes. So each individual package, like a package info, will be used to compare individual corresponding packages. So this version, this baseline, this is kind of which API jar it used, and this package version, like for each packages, the package version will be used to compare this package against the previous package, the baseline package. For example, in this package info may not be 2.2, maybe it's kind of could be even 1.2. I mean, if it's nothing changed since since it's kind of the matrix 1.x, maybe it's only one method being added and etc. This could stay just 1.2, and then it will be automatically compare against the jar is having a version 2.0. So directly compare against the version for the package org or Eclipse or MicroProfile or matrices.
Okay, thank
I
you.
don't know whether it's clear or not.
Yeah, I think so. I think that also answers the other question I had, which was, do we need to increment that? For example, if we did have a breaking change, let's imagine for a moment that we had a breaking change, and so our MicroProfile metrics release went up to 3.0. I think you're saying that if the version that was last used in this version annotation was 1.4, then we'd only change it to 2.0, even though the MicroProfile metrics release itself is 3.0. So there's no need to keep any
Yes.
synchronization between the version number in the packages compared to the version of the overall spec.
Yes. So basically, you are quite right. So basically, if you are on Windows X, if you have a backward incompatible change, and also you are releasing a major kind of change, major kind of release, and you directly increment the major version, increment this one to like a +1, and then your minor will go back to 0. I will add one more slide like this. Let me see. So here, so basically, is if I do.
Is there any way to have the release process automatically update that value for the bind plugin? Because my concern is that it's going to be forgotten and we're going to end up in the same boat.
Yeah, you are quite right. You are quite right, Ken. I was thinking along the same line, like in a couple days. So it's, I'm going to work with BND tools. I'm going to ask BJ to see whether the current version can automatically update the POM XML. I guess that POM XML, because actually I did think about this even earlier today. You know, we can automatically update the version here. We can automatically update a version here, right? So in our build, we might be able to automatically update the version for the baseline.
And Emily, if we do this an automatic, like the recommendation, will this be possible, scalable, and the other extensions, or only for metrics? What's can we scale this?
Yeah, for all. Yeah, for everything, for all the specifications.
That would be amazing. So what do you need for us to help you do this? Do you need to do some research? What's going on? How do we help you?
I think is help me is we need to raise the awareness of each specification. Basically, I'm going to have a look other specification. Need to make sure every single specification have this plugin. Enabled. I either help them raise a kind of issue and need to get it done for the next release. The other things I like what Ken said, because I was also thinking about this as well. So I know John Aman did that like a release script. I'm not sure whether, who else knows. I think is I will I know where it lives. I will take a quick look to, however, I will ask on the forum for someone to help me if I cannot cannot spot easily how to automatically update this. This should be quite straightforward, because when you update this one, this is kind of a similar thing. We'll see. If it cannot be done for the time being, I will add a kind of one request in the release process basically is the need to do it manually for the time being, while the tool can be updated to have it done automatically. But I think this, I do agree with Ken, is kind of error prone. Sometimes people do forget.
So this will be my feedback. I think this is amazing. I think because you're going to do most of the work, I think you need to create a new thread and say, after the call, the Hangout, we you know, I presented this, you know, using your words. You said, these are the next steps we're going to do. We need to educate, right? And I believe that my recommendation will be that you start that. You said the steps that you're going to do, like you just explained. And then not only that, we can actually create a quick blog on the things that are added as reference, not only the presentation, but whatever findings you do. And we make it like a set documentation within the Gits, like, you know, an Axidoc or something that will be present for us to refer to it. You know, and we might likely even include a video of this because you're very specific. And I was super lost a moment ago, like 5 minutes ago, but now I exactly get what you're talking about. And I think it's super important to even add this portion of the video to that blog. We can do that easily. That would be my recommendation to make this a step.
Thank you. I'm glad you're with me.
Yeah, I am with you. Anyone else? Comments for Emily? Because this rocks. I had no clue what you were talking, and now I get it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I think mission accomplished.
Well, yes. And then
at least I think Ken is with me as well. So I'm so glad you asked this question, Ken.
Mm-hmm. So then, you know, when you're done, just write a blog and we will circulate it. We can circulate it a while and we will add a video of you explaining the demo.
Okay, cool.
Maybe your next EclipseCon talk, Emily.
There you go. You all give me more tasks. Yeah, semantic versioning, guys. Yeah, actually, this is really interesting. Actually, it's in last week EclipseCon, and in Jakarta, we had a Jakarta booth, and then we talk about a similar thing, like a semantic versioning, and then people all raised their hands for semantic properly semantic versioning, like Jakarta EE specifications. The other things I want to share is Mike Minage is saying for Jakarta EE is I mean, he doesn't have any problem for backward incompatible changes. So which is a bigger change from Java EE. So it's basically they trying to adopt a similar thing we are trying to enforce right at this moment. Okay, I will stop sharing, and then I think yeah.
Okay, so I think the net of the earlier discussion on that, Dan, is we are recommending that we just let it go out as is with MicroProfile metrics 2.2 saying that its package version is 2.2 and we aim to do that properly in the future. But right now it's a bit of a false negative that people will notice that it looks like our API had a backward incompatible change, but it in fact did not.
Yeah, it says there's a manner change, but in fact there's no, just a false alarm. So is basically is not nice. However, I can live with it. We can live with it. I think at least I can live with it. So I think yeah, from my point of view, is maybe it's kind of less damaging than have to do another release, and then people asked why, right? Okay, yeah.
And then I guess I'm not sure who is kicking off the umbrella release, but I guess that's
John.
Okay, so I guess I know John's trying to pay attention to another call at the same time. So
Yeah. So it's So it's kind of if you announce on the Google group.
I'll do that. I'll do that in a minute.
Yeah, Google group. I think John will pick it up. In the future, we need to draw all the RCs and should be announced there as well. Or the release candidate. The other thing is I sent the email to the Google group. Actually, there's the Eclipse Foundation are having a CQ policy change. So from a chat with Wayne Beaton, the kind of CQ is much easier to manage. So it's they have a bigger database to kind of host a lot of third-party, well-known third-party dependencies and etc. I will see how many people have questions on the forum. Maybe you can invite Wayne Beaton to come to give us kind of more update and etc. Just a heads up. Just do read my notes on the CQ change, IP policy change on the Google group discussion. Please comment if you have any questions so that I can get in touch with Wayne Beaton so that he can come around to give us a detailed kind of talk regarding the IP policy and etc.
Ooh, do you move to another topic? The IP?
Yeah. I moved to another topic.
Okay, it almost felt that it was consecutive. And then I was like, what? We're talking about IP. I also saw it. And that is so new for the consumption. You're talking about bringing Wayne to speak maybe in the next call or in a month from now?
No. I'm saying is, can people go and read my notes on the Google group? I mean, about Eclipse Foundation IP policy change. So basically, it's you know, at the moment we need to raise so many CQs for any third-party dependencies, like for the mana release. If you upgrade your third-party dependency, for example, from 1.0 to 2.0 or 1.0 to 1.1, you need to raise another CQ to say, oh, hi, I'm using a different version of the third-party library. Can you give me, I mean, security clearance and etc. So this is kind of it's quite time-consuming, and I think it's quite manual as well. So this is not very nice. Luckily, Eclipse Foundation are doing some kind of groundwork on this front. So basically, they are building up bigger database. So called kind of is a well-known third-party dependencies and etc. So we can directly search against that database to see whether the third-party dependency is already approved by Eclipse Foundation. If yes, we just go ahead to use it. We don't even need to raise the CQ piggyback to say, hi, MicroProfile are using this third-party dependency. So that make our release a lot leaner.
Yeah, that's a lot simpler.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, Emily, you didn't add the topic to the agenda, so I recommend you do that. And did you learn? Did you learn about this at EclipseCon Europe?
Yeah, I learned EclipseCon Europe. Also, I'm in the Architecture Council in Eclipse, so that's why I got to know this information and share.
So then you started the thread already. So can you add the topic to the agenda? And I think it's too soon to even talk about it because you just learned about it last week. I think last week was Apache, not Apache, but EclipseCon. And then because
3 days ago.
Exactly. So it's too soon. It's nice that you're bringing it here, but it's too soon. So what we can do is to say, because I did see the thread come in, but I have not catch up with my email. What happens is
Yeah.
that you have not you have not fed the reader with the feedback. These things come up only in the call. You are telling us, hey, I just learned this 3 days ago while I was there. So if you do that, you bring us in and we are much more invested, because it's missing the mark on, that's my recommendation for you, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like storytelling is everything, especially when it's something as dry as architecture and tooling. just telling you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I will, add the CQ.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. That's from my side. Anyone else here? You guys are like architecture, coding. One of the things that you just said, usually committers get those emails when anything is changing around Eclipse with infra and anything. We get those emails. We have not received anything. So this is kind of nice that you know it first, so we know what's coming up in the future. But it's still just like, feed us information. And I think this is super cool that you brought it here today.
Thank you. And because Wayne is very keen to, nobody has tried this new policy as yet. So he's quite willing to help us and to make more progress if needed. So we will have his attention, so which is great.
Yes.
Let me post the link here and then we're done.
You're awesome, of course, as always.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, I have done that.
Okay, so from the technical topics, while Emily updates, does anyone else has anything to add? We have 40 minutes to go, and I think we can end maybe in the next 5 minutes. I have marketing updates, as you see here. But before I go into those ones, does anyone else have things to add that you were not able to add before to the agenda?
No.
Okay. So, I'm not going to be able to share because I'm on the go. So if someone can share, we have the first tickets. We have finally updated Philip's work. He helped us, his work helped us update the contributed, how to become a contributor button, their Eclipse under MicroProfile IO website. So if someone can click, I can show you what are the adjustments and how it brings you to the main repo of MicroProfile. If someone can click on the updates, the minute I need some help with that.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Okay, update. So here, right?
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Emily. Okay, so if you click, we just go, can you click in this call to action, become a microprofiler? It brings you there, just the purple one. It's a
Purple
link.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Become.
Yeah, it brings you directly to the website. And I want to just show really quickly. When you click become a microprofiler, now it brings you to the main repo within MicroProfile, and instead of using another repo. And this is what Philip and others in that Git issue were working on. So now we have even included the latest blog and videos, tutorials to use 12 APIs, easy entry, super quick. This diminishes, the goal of this document is to diminish more people asking, how do I use MicroProfile? How do I become a contributor of MicroProfile? So now, instead of answering multiple things, we just forward the link or send whomever comes, not only a client, but a coder, and we just direct it to this. And anyone can commit PRs against it and make it better. And there is an issue within the forum link and you can see multiple microprofilers help the creation of this with the latest PR acceptance that happened just like a day ago. So it's super cool, and we want to say a special thanks to Philip for doing a great job on this. This is like the show and tell. Questions about this? Everything was done over the Git. Emily, can you show the Git? It's within the email. I think I lost Emily. Hello?
I still hear you, Amelia.
Oh, okay. I just thought maybe the internet in this rental is not working out. Thank you so much. Like seriously, I'm. You know how it goes when you travel and you're like totally like running in one on. Yeah. So we lost Emily, and she's sharing. But please check this out. Make it better. The reason why this didn't go, someone wanted to bring it directly into WordPress, but what we want is to make sure that this page gets better by PRs. We don't want something that is not automatic. If it's not be seen by newcomers that are able to make it better, it doesn't have any value, at least for me. I'm really biased on this. I prefer a living document than a static one. Emily, can you stop sharing, please, this part? Thank you so much. Oh, that's it. And then let's see the other things I think everyone can see. David Salter is going to get, he's going to publish his onboarding into MicroProfile. That goes live tomorrow, and it's going to be pushed. We will send out via the forum, what we typically do, an email updating the entire community. This will be the third MicroProfile onboarding interview, and it's totally flawless in the level of no amount of work it takes, because we have the templates for everything from design to questions. So it only gets better by the ones that decide to own it. Cesar Hernandez, a driver, was the interviewer. So now he becomes the next person to own how he became a MicroProfiler contributor whenever he decides to own that. Then we have here is the issue where everything is being worked. Then we're talking about with Q4, it means we always need to clean up house. So for the marketing side, I have checked all the repos on their MicroProfile, even the coding ones, and I think we're doing really well with the Git issues that are in the works. From the MicroProfile side, in the marketing, we have 14 issues open. Thus far, we have closed plus 200. And I think this week we're going to go below the 10 digits. We're working on closing a bunch of them that are super easy. And that's it. For those that attended Germany, how was MicroProfile sessions during EclipseCon Germany? That's my last question, and I have nothing else to ask.
Okay, I will start. There's quite a lot MicroProfile sessions. So it's actually it's a great coverage. We have like reactive talk done by Martin, and then we have a transaction talk, MicroProfile LRA by Rudy, and also is Pavel did a metrics talk, and also Open API done by Peter. I did a MicroProfile and Spring comparison talk. I think it's a great all great talks, and also Mark Little did a really nice keynote and talk about MicroProfile, how awesome MicroProfile is. So basically, it's kind of properly position MicroProfile for the runtime and etc. And also is bring Java back to live, and with all the tools for cloud native. I think it has a great coverage. Also we did town hall with a focus on MicroProfile and Jakarta. So it's a great Heiko did a community day as well. On the first day, I talked about MicroProfile reactive. Yeah, it's really good. I think it's every day we have MicroProfile talks, and also Adam Bin went to the conference as well to talk about MicroProfile, and it generates a lot of interest. We talk about borrowing is good because for Java EE developers, MicroProfile is a second nature and very powerful as well.
Yeah, and
Also, Eva did another talk. Sorry, go ahead. I think I'm done.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you were done, but me and two colleagues, we did a MicroProfile in Jakarta workshop on the beginning of the conference. And there people could go hands-on with MicroProfile in Jakarta. So we hope to have inspired some people to really pick up and not only see talks, but actually go on with techniques.
Oh,
Yeah.
Edwin, are you going to write a quick blog to add your slides and maybe if there is a video? Because I saw some tweets, but I'm hoping that those that spoke will create really short, sweet blogs and add the presentations, and also drop the presentations in the MicroProfile drive on the presentation so that others can do that. It's just my recommendation because we were so busy. I saw so many things coming in, but we need to do better on the scaling. When we present, what do we do with the data? Not many create blogs. I think we need to do better, and nothing starts like Q4. It's busy, but it takes you nothing. It's like rewrite of the abstract, add the link of the, just upload the link of the presentation, and if there is video, add it, and then anyone else can have that data. Do you see what I mean? That's like so cool.
You are completely right, and I will get to that on Friday when I have time and create blogs about it with the presentation link and everything. So yeah, perfect. You're right. I will pick it up. Yes.
And you know what? And if you want media push, not only push it via Twitter, but then create a Get issue. Now you are an editor, so you can publish your own content, but you definitely want some like media push saying, hey, my retrospective on EclipseCon, while you were doing a workshop that is so amazing. We're doing so many workshops in MicroProfile this year. Before only Adam Beam was doing them, now many of us all over the world are doing workshops on MicroProfile. So this is so important to us. And you and Emily should be the leads on, hey, I will do a super short blog. It's about this, and just be very concise and be, hey, retrospective. It would be amazing. So if you can help on that, hey, scale that time. The work doesn't stop only at the conference. We need to do better.
Yes, you're right. And I'm glad you're always reminding me of that. So yeah.
Privately I'm not, right? Privately I'm not. I'm always reminding you, but I'm making sure that Emily here said, that Don here said, John here said, everyone here, Andres, everyone.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, and I love it. So,
cool.
It's like cut that to minimum, right?
Yes. All right. Yeah, you'll see my blogs come in kind of from Friday on. So yeah, I'll get to it.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Edwin.
No problem.
Most will go that. Yeah, that would be good if you put a link there. And then the other things I have been saying, we need to create a wiki page to host all the to list all the useful kind of materials. So basically, people are asking where to get a central page, list all the learning resources on MicroProfile. I think we should.
So you know what, Emily, you hit the mark. Today I had a call with, there is a Get issue that is about the resources page, and this is what is going to happen next week. And I'm going to say it because it's related. It's going to have a subtabs that says these are the sessions, and anyone can go and download any session directly via the drive. It's going to have the group that you created, Excel, which says who to contact when you're in a different country and you want to talk about MicroProfile. It will have a bunch of things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add that issue here for you guys to see it. And anything, if anyone here finds that anything is missing, just add that subtab there. because this is going to be the work that is going to be accomplished in November. And it's super necessary. We want the resource page to feed anyone. You don't need to spend any time wasting figuring out where the stuff is. So it's going to be very cool.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, I will add the issue and I need to hang up. But Philip, I just was talking about you being amazing and helping us with the contributors page that now is live. And I was just saying how amazing you were and how you worked it and made it so fantastic. So thank you.
Thank you. And sorry I'm late. For some reason on my calendar, it's only starting now. So it must be
it's our fault. A few of us saw that come in and I have been traveling. John has been traveling. We were supposed to send it to the forum when that changed and make sure that everyone got notification and that we adjusted the calendar. But, you know, we missed the mark. So Kevin is going to record the second hour and you didn't, you know, and everything is going to be shared. I need to hang up now because I use the knowledge from Philly. I'm here traveling. So, John, I'm hanging out, but I'm explaining and apologizing. Direct apologies to all of us that have access to the calendar. We should have done better, but we missed the mark. No excuses. It's just forgot.
Yeah, great. I need to hang up as well. So
me too.
Okay.
Emily, thank you so much. It's like super amazing. I will add the link and everyone, Kevin, enjoy the meeting. Now you own it.
We have a 2-hour meeting. Okay.
I think I'll be by myself.
Okay, bye.
No. Philip,
Yeah,
join.
I need to go.
Philip just joined. Edwin joined not too long ago. The same with Martin. So everyone has a little bit more time. I need to hang up. I have another call. Kisses, everyone. I miss you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Cheers. Bye.
I need to go as well. Okay, I had a 1 hour call.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Did I just miss the Hangout?
Yeah, pretty much. This is Kevin.
But my calendar says 3.
I know, and that's what mine did too. And so I actually got on very late because I was prepping to cover for John, and then I get on and it looks like they already kind of did the meeting.
Man, it's because Europe already changed times last weekend. That's probably why.
Right. Exactly. That's what happened. And so the next, the next meeting will be back to normal. But this one meeting just landed in the off week and we kind of messed up. So I got on late, and it sounds like what the group had decided is that maybe if enough people showed up that we would actually have this hour as well. But I don't know if we need to do that, if people are interested.
But John is on and you're on. Oh, no, you're using John's bridge.
Well, no, John got on just to start the recording. And that was it.
Got it. And then he left. Okay.
Yep.
So do you know if they talked about what to do, whether, we should have a 3. What was it, 2 or 4.0 or whatever?
Well, yeah, according to the minutes here, and I'll repost the minutes here. For those of us that got on late.
Well, I thought I was on time.
I know. I thought I was getting on early in order to prep for it. Okay, so there's the link to the meeting minutes, and it does look like they talked a little bit about the metrics 2.1 versus 2.2 release, and how we could have prevented that problem. Looking at the minutes, it kind of looks like the discussion, was going to continue to be followed via the thread. There's a thread on our forum that's kind of discussing this, trying to figure out, whether or not that. Now it does look like John is on because he's typing on our minutes. So
let's see.
I don't. It doesn't look like anything else was really discussed concerning the 3.2 release. I know. So Edwin was on the first hour. It looks like he dropped.
No,
nope.
I wasn't.
Nope, Edwin's here. Okay.
I was just listening. No, I came in late because I got an email from Emily that the call was already busy. So
okay.
But there's one thing I have a question about the 2.2 release or 3.2 release.
Yep.
Because I was with John on a call last week to do the changes myself with John's support to actually do the release from as a newcomer. But I kind of hit the MicroProfile GitHub repository that I couldn't create any branches or pull requests or something there. So I just heard Amelia say that everybody can make pull requests there, but I can't. So maybe I'm failing there, but maybe there's something not efficient with the rights or something. So.
Okay, so I guess I'm not sure. I thought that anyone could create a pull request as long as you were doing it from your fork, from your own fork back to the main one. I thought anyone should be able to create a PR.
I think I completely forgot to fork.
Okay,
I think that's a very good suggestion there.
Okay, because that might be it. I know, if you're not a committer, then trying to create, trying to commit even to create a branch on the main repository, you probably don't have access to do that if you're not
exactly. So we were on the call and I just checked out the repository and didn't even think about forking. Yeah, I think I found a problem there.
Okay.
Yeah. Good suggestion.
So I know John has been making some of the updates for the 3.2 release, and he just created a PR and asked me to review it in order to get ready for the 3.2 release.
All right. So so that's, you just answered my question. There's going to be a 3.2 then.
Yeah.
Instead of a 3.1.1.
Yep. That's what was kind of decided on the forum.
Okay. So so what does that mean for the announcement, and because what's the change between those two?
Okay, so then Metrics also is in the process of doing an update. So they will be creating a 2.2 release.
Okay. So the only thing new in 3.2 is going to be Metrics 2.2?
Correct.
Okay. So do you guys, what's the date of that, the potential date, do you know?
Now, that part I don't know. I think that was going to be discussed between John and Edwin and trying to figure out what was going to work. From a process perspective, because of the Eclipse process, I think we're okay because we've already done, the 3.1 release and it was so soon that, I don't think there's anything extra that has to be done to do a 3.2 release from a review perspective, from Eclipse. But we definitely want to make sure that we do enough testing on this one to make sure that the 3.2 is solid.
Right. So the next question is, from my perspective, is are we going to put out a new announcement and do, I guess we need to update the customer representation. We need to update the website, do all the movements of a point release for a 3.2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for that, I need to know the timing.
So I just noticed that John posted out there in the chat that he would shoot for a 3.2 build on Thursday or Friday. I think that's pushing it since we're
just this week.
Our C1. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's what his reasoning is. It sounds like he was trying to push to keep it in October because that's when we were trying to do our, third release of the year. But I think if it goes into November, I think that's okay.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna need to know if 3.1 was a mistake. Should we just update the presentation, the existing presentation, and the announcement with that, 3.1/3.2 or something, or do you want a brand new set, a brand new document for the announcement, a brand new everything, like a regular release?
Well, I think we probably do. I mean, it's a good question, but I'm thinking we don't want people to use 3.1 at all.
Okay,
So I
we
don't
wanna-
think we really want to be mentioning it.
Okay. I mean, what we can do is, I don't know. So we have a few options. So there's an announcement already out there, published in the blog post as a blog post in MicroProfile/blog that announces 3.1. So we can either go with a brand new announcement that announces 3.2, or we can modify the existing one that says 3.1 and change everything to 3.2. Do you see the difference?
Actually,
3.1 never existed.
yeah, and that's kind of the route that I would kind of go. I wish that there was a way that we could, just remove it out of Maven. But we can't.
Yeah, exactly. Maven remembers.
Yeah. I don't know. Why don't you think about it? Because, there's also the customer presentation that people have been using. And actually, they might have used some of these slides in last week's conferences.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I should just, change 3.1 to 3.2 in the presentations and make 3.1 completely go away, or just create another block for 3.2 stuff.
See, and that's just it, because really 3.2, because no one's going to implement 3.1. 3.2 is the one that would have the new implementation for health check 2.1 as well.
Okay, so there's two changes going into 3.2.
Well, kind of, because if we're saying 3.1 is bad and you should not use it, the metrics health 2.1 is actually new as well, right?
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. Okay. All right, so I'm assuming all that stuff is going to be in the release that John's putting together. The changes are going to be in. Okay. All right, so it sounds like I just need to go through like a brand new dot release.
I don't think we should really try to hide it, because there's no shame in releasing something that isn't completely working, because it's not the first time in history that it happens to some piece of software.
Right.
So I think trying to make it go away while we say that we are transparent to everyone, I think that's contradictory.
Right. No, I was thinking more making it 3.1.1. That way we didn't have to update anything.
Oh, no.
And we talked about that.
Yep. And, and Cesar, just like what we talked about at EclipseCon, wondering whether or not we should just push it out to our next release.
Yes.
And that didn't go over well either, because main reason is because 3.1 would be sitting out there in Maven
for a long time. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. So could you, okay, so how do I need to schedule my time here? Oh, okay. John is actually listening to it.
Yep.
So I can hear me. If there is a question from me, chat here. Oh, okay. All right. So it looks like I'm just going to go ahead. Friday and Thursday and Friday. Okay. So yeah, just let me know. I'm just gonna say, please let me know. A couple of days in advance of the 3.2 release date, so that I can update data sheet, customer presentation, and also the what else do I need to do? An announcement.
Yep.
And then I have to ask actually Ryan and website updates. He does those. All right. All right, that's it. So I'm just gonna get back
and then
to.
you'll send out the request to review that stuff like you normally do?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty much the same, Kevin, except maybe for a paragraph or maybe 2 bullets saying that this is what changed in metrics and this is what changed in health. Because those are the only 2 changes you mentioned, right? You said.
Right.
Okay. And what I do is I usually go to the release notes that you guys put together or to the PDFs. I'm assuming that metrics and health are going to issue 2 new PDFs.
Well, okay, so now just to be clear, health is not issuing a new one because health 2.1 went out with MicroProfile 3.1. So that information is not changing at all. But I think we need to highlight it as part of 3.2. Even though it's not new, it's going to be new for the implementations.
Okay. So it was included in 3.1, but it was not was not in the POM file or something, or?
No. Okay, so 3.1 included updates to health 2.1 and metrics 2.1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, metrics had a problem, so they got to update theirs to 2.2, and that's going to be part of MicroProfile 3.2.
Right.
But because MicroProfile 3.1 is basically a bad release and nobody is ever going to implement it, if we don't highlight health check 2.1 with MicroProfile 3.2, then it's going to get lost because we don't have a release that talks about it.
Got it. So I'll just reiterate that what's new in the health. I understand now.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically what you're saying is we need to highlight what that is. We need to repeat that it's new in 3.2 so that people know that. Okay, got it.
Yep, exactly.
All right. I'll make sure to do that. So it's going to be, let me make a note of here. So it's basically the health of 3.1. Okay, so repeat health. It was 2.1 you said, right? In MP 3.1 release. Text for MP 3.2 announcement. Okay. Plus metrics 2.2 you said, right? 2.2, which will be new. And I'm assuming that in the release 3.2 release, there will be some note about what had changed in metrics, right? 2.2.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay, I think it's clear now. Plus metrics 2.2, new features, new functionality. All right, MP. So is it MP? I'm sorry, metrics 2.2. Is it already finished? Do you know?
It's in the process. I don't
Okay,
think
good.
it's done yet because I know our changes in the POM file are still referencing an RC release.
Can if you notice, can you let me know? If you notice when metrics 2.2 is out, that way I can just I can go ahead and start updating the announcement draft and then send it your way so you guys review it.
Okay, so I just put it. I just put a little bit of information into
it.
Save
the announcement data sheet, website updates. Yeah, website updates. Okay. MP, contain 2.2, health 1, hold on, okay. So announcement will describe new functionality of metrics 2.2 plus reiterate what was introduced in health 2.1, which was included MP3.1. Okay. And the same thing with the presentation and the diagrams. Okay, cool. All right. So it's clear now.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, and I don't know on the exact timing of everything here because, of course, we can't do MicroProfile 3.2 until Metrics 2.2 is done. And
yeah. Oh, yeah.
For
some reason, when I log in with a weird number. That's strange.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna get back to work then. So, guys, if I guess Kevin, if you learn about Metrics 2.2 coming out, can you quickly ping me?
Yeah, let's.
Hey, it's out, so I can start working on the updates. It's probably gonna be tomorrow, right? Emily's already gone to bed.
Well, Emily was on the first hour.
Okay.
So I just asked John. I don't know if anybody else on the call, if there was a discussion earlier about Metrics 2.2. Does anybody know what their plans are?
I dropped in on the end of the conversation, so I can't really say, but yeah, I just can't.
Okay.
I don't know anymore at this time than I know. I think that you know, so.
All right. Okay. So it looks like it's going to happen towards the end of this week or beginning of next.
Right. I mean, we definitely want to do it as soon as we can, just because of 3.1.
Yeah. And if for some reason I don't have the cycles to do it by Friday, I'll just do it over the weekend, and I will date the stuff. I will backdate the stuff, the announcement. All right. Cool.
Okay.
Okay, guys. But that's all I had. Let's see, what else did they talk about here?
Well, I know that one thing that Emily brought up is part of the reason, I wouldn't say all of it, but part of the reason for the problems with Metrics 2.1 is that the plugin for semantic versioning was pulled out a couple of releases ago, and it wasn't put back in. And so then that prevented it from actually flagging that there was an update to the API, and then that allowed fault tolerance to accidentally bring it in, and then that's what caused the problem. But I think some of it is just, like I posted out on the forum too, is I wonder if we need to enforce more testing of all of the components within a MicroProfile release. So I'm sure that fault tolerance will be doing it this time, but and we don't have to enforce something for 3.2, but I think it is something that we need to discuss going forward.
What was the actual problem? Sorry, I'm behind.
And I don't know. Can anybody on the call, anybody explain what was wrong with the Metrics 2.1? What was wrong with the APIs?
Yeah, basically, they now require that gojis are extending a number, I think, which fault tolerance is returning strings.
Oh,
that's what's
okay.
right.
Yeah, that sounds to me like we need some kind of regression testing, no?
Yeah, and that's where that's what I was kind of thinking, because I know Ken brought up on the.
But the TCK would have caught that, no?
Well, if the individual TCKs were run, yes.
And they were not run?
Not against the updated
and I think that this is exactly what Emily was talking on the first hour. So we should probably all watch the recording first.
Yeah.
No, I think they should have dialed in at the right time. All right. All right, guys. Sounds good. So yeah, sounds like it was more like a process error, a misstep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we still have to figure out what are we going to do going forward so that we don't hit the same issue again.
Yeah, because I'm sure if she changed that from a string to a number, obviously that should have gone together with a TCK update, right? To check the return value or.
Well, it did for metrics, but not fault tolerance. The fault tolerance was dependent on metrics.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem was with fault tolerance when it was trying to. Okay, got it.
I just did a change in the chat if anyone's interested in the details.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Clarify that gauges are numbers. Okay. Right there, I was using non-numeric. Okay. Okay. So if health broke, though, don't you require a change in health, not in metrics? Because health should be, it was calling metrics?
Nope.
Or was it the other way around?
I think the worry was somebody, like a user could write a program that was a bit like the health program. So even if they kind of changed health, a user program that is broken by the pull request would be broken.
All right. Metrics talk. You just sent a metrics to Dodo.
And Cesar, Martin just posted that 2.2 got released earlier today for metrics.
Oh, it's already out then. Okay.
Yep. So then you can take a look
so,
at the stuff.
So that means if I come here, major changes. Okay. Revert. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So changed into the 2. Reverted a problematic change from 2.1. Oh, so she undid. She undid the change she made in 2.1. That's what she did. So let me show you. Oh, did I share my screen? Share. Desktop. Come on. How do I do that? There you go.
There you go.
This is 2.2. Look, reverted. Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, so that means I have to start working on the updates. I think I'm going to start tomorrow and share something with you by Thursday, guys.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay, so
Thank you all.
Any other topics that people wanted to discuss? Like Martin said, with the other topics, I guess we can watch the recording.
Sounds good. If I don't have anything else besides, let me think. EclipseCon Europe happened last week. I think that was discussed already.
Yeah, unless you wanted to add anything to Emily's update. I got on and listened to that part. I thought she covered quite a bit, and Edwin talked about their.
There was an interesting discussion in the town hall for Cloud Native. That was interesting. True. But I didn't have a chance to attend any sessions except Mark Little's and mine. Well, I presented, so I had to be there. And one more thing is yesterday at the marketing hangout. What's her name? She's from Payara. Debbie Hoffman from Payara.
Okay.
She's going to. Sorry about that. My kids are screaming. She's going to work with her designer and put together social cards for the 3 MicroProfile talks at DevOps Belgium. And as soon as she had those ready, she was going to start promoting those on MicroProfile.io Twitter handle. So I gave her access to that yesterday. So she's going to be doing that because it's next week, right? I think that looks like.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And will not be there. Kevin, will you be there?
No, I will not.
Okay. Edwin, will you be there?
Yes, I will attend to both.
Good. You're from Netherlands, right?
Yeah, I live close to Antwerp, so I can easily drive there.
Good. Not bad. So let's see. And the last thing here is I'm going to add that, if you don't mind, here. What's going on? Why can I go like that? It's not working. For some reason, I cannot do the tap to the left on that one. Can someone fix that? When I Cesar, at yesterday's marketing hangout, Debbie Hoffman mentioned he would put together social cards for MP Talks at DevOps Belgium and promote them via MicroProfile. Okay. What else did we talk? What else did we talk about yesterday? Let me just look at it real quick. See if there is anything else. One more thing.
Did you say Debbie was from Payara?
Isn't she Debbie Hoffman? Isn't she?
I don't know.
Yeah, she's from Payara. Yeah, she's from Payara. So the other thing is, just in case the Eclipse Foundation, we're gonna have a MicroProfile booth there, and we're gonna have books to give away. We're gonna have MicroProfile t-shirts to give away too. So, and
DevOps, you mean?
I'm sorry?
At DevOps, you mean?
Yes, DevOps.
Yeah. Okay, because that's one of my last questions.
Yes.
Today I returned to my project with a few MicroProfile books that I got from EclipseCon last week.
Okay.
And the people were interested, and the question was if I could get more.
Yeah. There will be a bunch of them next week, so just grab a few. I
think I will make a few extra people happy then.
Yeah. Please, I
will grab them.
Yeah, grab a whole box.
Yeah, thanks.
Take it back. I won't be there, but I think Tanya will be there, and maybe I think what's his name, Gael, maybe there. He's from Europe.
Okay.
From the Eclipse Foundation, and I think that's it. Debbie's gonna upload the social cards into the marketing Google Drive, and start promoting those. Oh, one more thing before I forget. So last week at EclipseCon Europe, I spoke with the Eclipse Che guys, and they are going. I talked to them about having the functionality or an extension for the MicroProfile starter in Eclipse Che. So I told them about that. There already was one for Visual Code Studio, and they said that they could import that and use that. So they tried, and they ran into a bug, which is an Eclipse Che bug that they're going to work on resolving. And so I'm gonna reach out to them by next week to see where they're at with that. But once they get that working, we'll have an extension for the MicroProfile starter in Visual Code Studio and Eclipse Che. So we would need one for IntelliJ and the normal Eclipse IDE. So if you guys know anybody that will be willing to volunteer to get those two, please let us know.
I don't want to interrupt, but and I don't want to add this to the agenda necessarily because it's been a long meeting.
For you.
but But I've posted into the chat a topic in the Google group, which we talked about in the last community hangout, to do with how we manage dependencies of each individual spec, and whether we should sort of use a parent POM, or whether we should do dependency management, and in order to be able to kind of maybe address the issue of when we switch to Jakarta transient dependencies versus Java EE. So that topic's still in the Google group, and if people commented on it, then we might discuss it next time.
Okay, so you just wanted to raise this to everyone's attention?
Yes, because nobody responded to the Google group, and it's quite an interesting, well, to me, it's an interesting idea that different users with their policies might want to use either Java EE8 or Jakarta EE8. And technically, it's possible to kind of switch them or using an option on the Maven build. But I'll leave it at that. And
okay. I mean, I added something to the minute, so at least if people are taking a look at it, maybe that'll get people to take a look.
Thank you.
And I think that's all I had. Just triple check. Yeah, I covered that. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I looked at the 3.2 RC1 pull request, and it looks good, so we can continue with that whenever we want to have a final version.
Okay, good. Thanks for taking a look. Did you add your review to it then?
I approved it.
Okay.
Is that enough, or?
Yeah. Yep, that's what I was wondering.
Okay. It's my first timer.
Huh?
All right.
Okay, that's it for me.
Yeah, me too. So I guess we can just end the call, right?
Well, unless anyone else has any other topics they wanted to bring up. Sorry about the time mess up. It looks like about half of us tried to do the later time and half went earlier. And so 2 weeks from now, we'll be back at our normal time.
Next week, I thought, right?
We don't do this.
Oh, we don't, there is not, okay, never mind.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yep. Oh, there's an MP architecture next week at 2 p.m. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend and Halloween for those of you that party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Yes, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.